Emirates is well known around the world for its unique fleet. The airline operates just two types, the Airbus A380 and the Boeing 777. So how do they serve routes that could use something smaller? In this video, we will explore Emirates' recent orders for relatively smaller aircraft and why the airline didn't order them sooner. Images have recently surfaced showing the first of 65 Emirates Airbus A350s being rolled out of the paint shop at the Airbus factory in Toulouse, France. This represents the latest step in Emirates' re-entry into the smaller narrow-body market and offers a great deal more flexibility to the Dubai-based carrier. This is not the only new type that Emirates is adding to its fleet, however. In addition to the A350, they are adding a new fleet of 35 Boeing 787-8s and 787-10s to their fleet from 2025 onwards. These aircraft signify a revitalisation of Emirates' commitment to the sub-350 seat market, which the airline has cut back on in recent years. At present, Emirates operates three types of aircraft: the Airbus A380, which has a minimum capacity of 484 seats, the Boeing 777-300ER with a minimum capacity of 354 seats, and the Boeing 777-200LR with just 302 seats. The 777-200LR is the only aircraft in the fleet that has close to 300 seats, but this fleet numbers only 10 in Emirates' fleet of over 250 aircraft. However, even relatively recently, Emirates has had an extensive aircraft fleet for this market. Not too long ago, Emirates had an extensive fleet of Airbus A330-200s, A340-300s and A340-500s, as well as a handful of Boeing 777-200s and 200ERs. These aircraft served far-flung destinations that didn't warrant aircraft the size of a 777-300ER or A380, as well as short-haul destinations with high capacities. Many of these aircraft were legacy aircraft from when the airline was establishing itself as a truly global carrier, and to maintain their image of being a fresh and current airline, they would need a fleet to reflect that ambition. Emirates' relationship with the Airbus A350 started in 2005 when Emirates began looking for a replacement for their Boeing 777-200s and 200ERs, as well as their Airbus A330-200s. Emirates was originally sceptical that Airbus could not keep its promises on the still in development Airbus A350 program. In recent years, Airbus had both struggled to keep to their delivery schedules and had fallen somewhat short of the proposed efficiency targets of the Airbus A340. However, by 2006, Airbus was hopeful for an order and began to market the A350 to Emirates in a way that they could take more seriously. For the replacement of their 777-200s and 200ERs, Emirates' requirements were largely based on capacity, with them looking for aircraft that could seat up to 280 passengers in a 3-class configuration, or 320 to 340 seats in a 2-class configuration. The A350 was being pitted up against the Boeing 787-10, or 787-10X as it was known at the time. This order was won by Airbus at the 2007 Dubai Air Show, with Emirates placing an order for an impressive 70 units, comprising of 50 Airbus A350-900s and 20 of the longer A350-1000s. Exciting as this order was, it simply would not last. Emirates cancelled this order for 70 A350s on the 11th of June 2014, after first deliveries were pushed back from 2014 to 2019. They negotiated with Emirates to swap these aircraft for 50 A380s, outlining their priorities at the time to focus on growing capacity on existing routes rather than prioritising growing their network. Emirates showed an interest in the Boeing 787 from as early as 2005. Specifically, they hoped Boeing would commit to the Boeing 787-10, the largest of the 787 family, as a type that could replace their 777-200s and 200ERs. But at this time, Boeing was hesitant to launch the 787-10 as an official derivative, fearing that it would eat into their 777-200 family sales. In fact, Emirates was instrumental in Boeing's commitment to the 787-10, which it did in 2006. However, in 2007, the type lost out to Airbus's A350 for the 777-200 replacement because of its hot climate capabilities. Emirates outlined that it believed the 787-10's engines were not powerful enough to allow the plane to achieve its maximum takeoff weight while operating from its base in Dubai. While lost against the A350, the 787 would get another chance with Emirates in 2017. 3 years earlier, Emirates had cancelled its order for the A350, thereby leaving a gap in Emirates' future capabilities. In addition, the airline had retired most of its aircraft serving the approximately 300-seater market, including the 777-200, the 777-200ER, the A330-200, A340-300 and A340-500 by the end of 2016, which made Emirates' need to serve this market even more pressing. The mass retirement of these smaller aircraft now left this market only servable by the 10-strong fleet of Boeing 777-200LRs, which did serve certain smaller markets such as Glasgow, but also served longer range destinations such as Rio de Janeiro, Buenos Aires and Fort Lauderdale. These aircraft proved useful on both short and long range destinations that didn't warrant a 777-300ER or A380. But their low numbers were a limiting factor to many of the routes that Emirates served, such as Lyon and Edinburgh. This forced Emirates to pull out of these smaller markets where their most numerous aircraft, the Boeing 777-300ER, was often simply too large to easily fill and fly profitably. Meanwhile, competitors such as Qatar Airways and Etihad were proving the viability of the A350 and 787 in smaller markets that Emirates had either abandoned or had never been able to serve in the first place. Seeing this as a glaring issue, Emirates had launched a study in 2015 into the viability of operating the A350 or 787 in their fleet. This culminated in an order at the 2017 Dubai Air Show for 40 Boeing 787-10 Dreamliners. Exciting as this was, this order soon stagnated. No cabin or engine type was selected, and the order was downsized in 2019 to 30 Boeing 787-9s with a slated delivery of 2023. However, even this delivery date was brought into question and began to be pushed back. In February 2019, Emirates backtracked on its previous A350 decision and ordered 30 of the smaller A350-900 variant as part of a larger order featuring the A330-900neo, and would later up their order to 50 units. The A330 portion of the order would soon be cancelled, however these smaller aircraft were allowing Emirates to reach smaller airports, thereby unlocking more potential and being able to go head to head with the likes of Qatar Airways at smaller destinations. This A350 order did not stagnate either, with cabin products and in-flight entertainment options all having been leaked to the public. All came to a head at the 2023 Dubai Air Show, where orders were made for both Airbus and Boeing. On day one of the show, Emirates increased their Dreamliner backlog from 30 to 35 units, but split away from the 787-9, instead taking 20 smaller 787-8s and 15 787-10s. Furthermore, on day 3 of the show, they also left with an additional order for 15 A350-900s, bringing their total to 65 units. While there's no word yet on where the 787s will operate, the first few destinations for the A350 have been released. These include Edinburgh, Lyon, Bologna, Kuwait, Bahrain, Muscat, Ahmedabad, Mumbai and Colombo. From this, it can be judged that these aircraft will be used on shorter distance, high frequency routes, but also on lower demand, long distance routes, highlighting the type's flexibility. Notably, Emirates is relaunching its routes to Lyon and Edinburgh, destinations served by rival Qatar Airways with aircraft smaller than a 777, the Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner and the A350-900 respectively. The gap in Emirates' fleet was an interesting decision, with them being almost unable to serve the sub-350 seat market. This decision was fueled by them focusing on higher capacity routes, mixed with desires to keep a young fleet. In addition, certain options on the market were simply not up to Emirates' high standards. In missing out on this market, however, the regional rivals have proven how valuable having an aircraft of this size at their disposal can be. And the fact that Emirates withdrew from this market in the first place allowed others to fill the gap that they had left. Whether it can be seen as an error on Emirates' part is up for debate, however the fact that they are recommitting to aircraft holding approximately 300 passengers proves that they see a gap in their network and see an opportunity to be taken. These aircraft provide much greater flexibility to them and revitalises a lost capacity. As of now, the first A350 has only just broken cover in Toulouse, and it may well be the aircraft to change Emirates into something brand new.